I'm Robbie Cumming, and this is my narrowboat. I've been living the Canal dream for years. This time, I'm heading out on a journey across the north of England. One that will take me over the Pennine Hills. Starting in Wigan, I'll be travelling through historic mill towns like Blackburn, passing through Leeds, along the River Ouse to York, and on to Ripon at the outer reaches of our canal network. There'll be plenty to see. Industrial heritage, cracking landscapes, plus a few bumps and scrapes along the way. Jump on board for my Canal Boat Diaries. Got some nice sunny weather, blue skies, a few clouds around. There is a real nip in the air, it's getting quite autumnal. But the next leg of the journey, for me, is going to be the longest one yet, as I take on 2 canals and 3 rivers, one of them which is tidal. It's going to be quite a challenge, but one that I'm really looking forward to. On this leg, I begin on the Aire and Calder navigation at Knottingley. I'll join the Selby Canal and moor up in the town, before venturing along the tidal Ouse and on to York. My destination is the city of Ripon in North Yorkshire, nearly 60 miles in all. A river improved for boats is often called a navigation. Changes were made to make rivers more direct, deeper and wider for working barges. The Aire and Calder navigation has seen many upgrades over the years, and some of the most famous names in engineering, including Jessup, Rennie and Telford, have all left their mark. I can see a lot of weed by the entrance of the gates to this lock, and what's going to happen now is I'm just going to take it all in with me, and then it will just go into the river after that. Just follow the natural course of gravity and just the flow of the river and the wind as well. And just like with the weed that's gone with the flow, I have to go with the flow as well, as the boat's just decided that the wind wants it to go on that side. That's fine, it's absolutely fine. Whatever you want to do, love. And that's why I call her Naughty Lass. Cruising in autumn, it does feel like you've got more room to breathe in terms of there aren't so many boats around. The main cruising season is over. But I just love, as a videographer, photographer, I love the light that you get. It's almost like it's golden hour all day long on some days. And the colours from the leaves changing, all that sort of stuff. This is it, I'm turning on to the Selby Canal in one smooth, highly professional movement. Hopefully. Yeah, there we go. As soon as I've come off the river and into this sheltered lock, everything is a lot calmer. I'm not an engineer, but I'm able to do certain maintenance jobs like changing the oil, replacing the gaskets on the cylinders, and I've learnt how to do all these things from the engine going wrong and an engineer having to be called out. So every time that's happened, I've tried to remember what they've done and how to make sure it doesn't become a problem again. These type of diesel engines are so simple. I think that's the secret to their longevity, and I love that. And I love being able to fix it myself, because I know I'd really struggle if I was faced with a modern engine. Opening in 1778 and costing £20,000 to build, the Selby Canal was once busy with freight barges. Today, it's a quiet waterway for narrowboats like mine. Modern road builders had pretty much the same issues as the canal builders of the 18th century. Embankments, cuttings, bridges, and this is where old meets new. This carries the Selby bypass over the canal. And it's actually named after the canal engineer, William Jessup, who first built this canal. It's just great that he's got a bridge named after him, the William Jessup Road Bridge. Suddenly started absolutely chucking it down. Luckily I've got my umbrella, but it does make things a bit awkward. I've got to hold the umbrella and steer at the same time. I'm not a fair weather boater, but this is a bit too much. Right, as if by magic the sun's coming out as I'm more up in Selby. Local kids saying hello, and yeah, I'm just going to moor up here. This is going to be a great spot, hopefully. Particularly interested in Selby's boat building history, because the town is famous for building boats, and one of the best known ones is Cochrane's Shipbuilders. I can see the sign just there. Selby was home to numerous shipbuilders over the centuries. Based on the banks of the River Ouse, Cochrane's was one of the last to survive. I'm not intruding, I have got permission to wander around the site. Of the many ships built and launched here, Greenpeace's Rainbow Warrior, originally a deep sea fishing vessel, has to be one of the most famous. Right, what have we got here? All right, yeah, I can see a bit more. Oh, I'm not going to go in. Oh, there we go. Old magazines, some old brochures. It's quite sad, really. This is all that's left of the shipbuilding history in this town. This falling apart building. Right, anyway, enough of that. Back to the boat. The next stretch of my journey is on the tidal River Ouse. With strong currents and a tidal surge, I need to get the timings right. so that means I've got a few days wait in Selby. Exploring is definitely something that's in my DNA. I can't switch it off, but I do love to find different routes to take and see what the view's like at the top of a hill, or just see what's round the next corner. It's this sort of burning desire to explore. Well, I've been here in Selby since Sunday. It's Friday now, but sometimes that's just the way it is. You have to wait until the conditions are right. And with this tidal river I'm about to go onto, you don't catch it at the right time, you just won't get anywhere. Right, tidal river ooze. With fast-flowing water on this stretch, I've popped my life vest on just to be safe. I don't think I've ever gone underneath a bridge at this speed. Oh! No time to take in the sights. We're going pretty fast. There are a number of obstacles I've got to try and weave my way around, including this huge log that's in the water. I've just hit it, but it's fine. Steel versus wood, I mean, always going to win, so. But I don't want it to get anywhere near my propeller. After a frantic start, the tidal surge calms, and I reach Cawood and its 19th century river crossing that replaced the old ferry. The River Ouse is tidal up to Neighbourne. From here, I'm about halfway on this leg of my journey to Ripon. Because everything happens in such a rush sometimes when you're coming in on these tidal locks, you miss out on all the features. So right now, I'm between two locks. I'm on an island that's been between the original 18th century lock, and then this is the one that was added in the Victorian era. The new lock was opened by Queen Victoria's grandson, Prince Albert Victor, and allowed bigger barges to travel through. This boat, I've had it for many years now, and I do own it outright. Paid back my loan a long time ago. Can I still see it as an asset, or is it a liability? Can I still afford to keep it is the question that's going around my head at the moment. I've got loads of plans for this boat, but they're more dreams in a way because they seem like they might cost a lot of money. Just setting off from my beautiful mooring here at Neighbourne Locks. It's been such a peaceful, restful night's sleep. Full 8 hours and more. While I feel rested and restored, I can't say the same for my engine. It's chucking out smoke and struggling against the current. Something not right here. I'm just going to slow right down because my engine's having problems. It's getting really, really hot. I'm starting to smoke in places where I don't normally see it smoke. I'm just going to have to tie up alongside this boat here. He's very kindly said I could. And just give it some time to cool down. My engine, it's reached its limit, I think. And I think the cause is I had too much hemmed in around it. The boards that I normally keep there to improve storage on the boat have been hindering the airflow that I need for my air-cooled engine. It wasn't meant to be a long trip today, but the unpredictable side of boating, it's not all fun, is it? And it does mean sometimes you have to make emergency stops like this to sort out engine problems. With my engine's temperature back to normal, I can press on. The river takes me past the official residence of the Archbishop of York. There's still something not quite right about the engine, and although I'm on a river with a flow pushing me one way, I need to stop and just quickly get down there, just have a little check, see if there's anything wrapped around the propeller. But I've been doing this so many times now, I should be able to do a quick pit stop without having to drop anchor. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. Yeah, there is something down there. Even after years of boating, I sometimes forget to make basic checks. With cloth wrapped around the propeller, my engine was being worked too hard. I've managed to free up what was around the propeller, which looks like a cushion cover. Got a zip on it, and now that I have, yeah, we're back to normal cranking it. This is it. This is what I should be, the speed I should have been going. Right, now this bridge marks the perimeter of the walls. York's got some amazing city walls, and I can't wait to explore them. And this is it. We're inside City of York now. Arriving by boat in York is very special, but finding good moorings can be a challenge. I don't like the look of this. Look how thick that mud is. It's going to be slippery as well. I'm going to put my wellies on. While many visitors come to learn about the Viking invasion or explore the Minster, I'm here for something else. I've just taken a walk right alongside the river here in York to visit a road called Hartoff Street, and it's here where I want to pay my respects to a comedy legend. This chap was a stand-up comedian and a radio and television star of the 60s and 70s, appearing in several films including Carry On Doctor. What I'm looking for is a blue plaque. Here it is. Frankie Howard spent his early years right here by the River Ouse in York. And I think that's pretty amazing. I love comedy. Actually once wanted to be a stand-up comedian and a comedy actor. Yeah, it's wonderful to see where he actually grew up. Just walking along the walls, it's one of my favourite things to do in a city that has them, because you get such great views. There's no doubt about it, York is an absolutely incredible city to visit. But for a boater, it's a bit of a nightmare. For one thing, the towpath is like a scene from Glastonbury. The rising river levels, the silt that's left behind. To top it all off, the river ferries going up and down, and the tourist boats that are hired out. Oh, it's like being moored on the sea. But it's a really exciting place to be, and I had a great time. I've just seen a sign, and according to my map, this is where the river changes from being the Ouse to the Ure, or Ur. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, or even why it suddenly changes, but it does. This structure in front of me is actually a privately owned toll bridge. For 40p, you can cross it and shave off roughly 25 miles of a journey. Wow. Like something out of Indiana Jones. Today, I'm on my way to Boroughbridge. Because of its location, midway between London and Edinburgh, it was an important stop for horse-drawn stagecoaches on the Great North Road. It's a beautiful little wooded cut that I'm on that takes me through Boroughbridge. Before I get there, I want to fill up on diesel, and I can do that at a garage, not a marina, but there's a garage that serves cars on one side and boats on the other. All throughout this journey, from Wigan through Blackburn, Burnley, Leeds, York, I've been focused on getting to my destination at Ripon. And so much goes into the planning and research about the route and all the history that when I actually get there, I am left with a bit of a feeling of, well, what do I do now? But for me, there's plenty more canals and rivers to explore, and I just can't wait to see them. Right, Malcolm, how much do I owe you?
76.33.
Okay, that's not bad. From Wigan up to Ripon.
So,
not bad.
Pretty good, eh?
Yeah. It's a new day today, and it's my last day on this journey. It's a lovely day here, leaving Boroughbridge. I've got a few more locks to go through, and another canal to explore. Navigating canals and rivers on your own is incredibly physical at times. Jumping off and on the boats, climbing up and down ladders in deep locks can be really challenging. It's not for the faint-hearted. This is a really interesting place here that I'm passing by. It's Newby Hall. In the 1690s this was built with help from the architect Sir Christopher Wren. Just about to leave the river behind me now. Head on to the Ripon Canal. I'm excited about this. I've missed the turning. I've got to go back. There's a sign there that says don't go this way, and that's exactly what I've done. At just 2 miles long, the Ripon Canal is my final waterway on this great adventure across the north of England. In its heyday, it brought coal to the town, with lead, bricks and butter moving the other way. This is it. This is Ripon Basin at the end of the Ripon Canal, at the end of this remote part of the network. And there's hardly any boats around, so I get it all to myself. You can see the end there. There's visitor moorings everywhere, there's not going to be any problems. Here we are, brilliant. Feels good, feels good. It's been a long journey, 167 miles, 103 locks. And I've made it to one of the remotest locations on this network. Pat on the back, Robbie. Did it.